were a bit raunchy and raucous.
We kept you on a really short leash.
Nice to be on someone's leash sometimes.
I was gonna say, with that hair, you better play an instrument. It is so rock and roll. I love it.
I think she's a they. That didn't come out right. Can you do this for,
People would do
a
anything for a
donut?
t-shirt.
That's like genius.
All right, welcome to the Rainbow Remix, everyone. I am so excited to have this entourage of talented folks here today. I'm flying solo. Denise is still busy moving to another location in the UK, and it's my pleasure to have all of you here to talk about this amazing project, The High Note, that I can't wait to hear more about. Gina, are you part of this project as far as like production, or you're not in the show, right?
I'm in one episode. I have a scene with Thea, and then I adapted it, I produced it, and I edited it, and I was a one-man band there.
Wow, you wear a lot of hats. I know that feeling.
Yep.
And Thea, I am very, very starstruck because I am a huge fan of Queer as Folk. So thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to meet you and see you on the other side of the Zoom. So I love the fact that it's set in the 1930s because I always say like I should have been born in a different era because I just love all of that throwback, the music, everything, and the jazz. Do you sing, Thea, or do you do the singing?
I do. I play a singer.
Oh, wow.
We recorded 8 songs for this with her.
Oh, that's so cool. Awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
She's the lead singer at the High Note.
I love that. And the High Note is is the club that it all takes place at? I love that. So I don't know, what do you want to tell? Gina, do you want to be like our narrator telling us what the premise of
She's the narrator.
Did you wear all the hat? Oh, are you the narrator in the show?
No, in the thing, I have them her and the Chelsea Davis, who plays Diane Devane. They narrate. It's set in the 1930s, and it's about 2 women that fall in love and the hardship that comes of it because of the era and in the studios they had their clauses, that the morality clause, that they couldn't do such things, and the fact that nobody knows till later on that Diane is also mixed race, so there's that to contend with too.
Oh, wow. Okay, so there's a lot going on that was not accepted back in the day. A lot to contend with.
And then we have like our gossip columnist, like Blanche, she finds things out, so she has her ways.
And is Blanche an ally in this, or is she?
Oh no, I represent all that is evil.
Well, you have the look for definitely the columnist, the gossip columnist. And
I one of the things that was tough about playing the role and made it, I think, really interesting is that I love to hate. I love to dig the dirt. So it's not this is cute and frivolous. No. I want to expose these people. So, Gina asked me early on a really interesting question. She said, "Are you comfortable playing somebody that was that hateful?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, no problem." And as I investigated it, I was like, "Wow, this is tough because I get off on other people's misfortune." And it was based a little bit on the gossip columnists at the time who were, very much on the blacklist, trying to find out who was a communist and who wasn't, and was there quote unquote, homosexuality rampant, and they were really into that. So I kind of represent that darker streak.
I remember in some of the movies from back then, and even like the old I Love Lucy episodes, where the gossip columnist was like the one they were afraid of because they were all nervous when she was coming to town because they didn't know what she was going to say about Ricky and his show and everything. So that was a thing back then. So that's you found your inner darker side of the gossip columnist of the third.
And it's interesting too, because I think one of the things that is difficult in the United States right now is there's so much polarization and people are really identifying with hate. And that's kind of something that she kind of was doing back then, of let's hate on people. And then to top it off, our lead actress, the gorgeous torch singer, is mixed race. So like you said, there's layers upon layers upon layers.
Yeah, that is really amazing, and the timing for what's happening in the world now is, really really good. It coincides with what was happening back in the day.
Exactly.
So you have.
And Blanche also was a failed actress at that time too, before.
Oh.
So I think she takes it out on like Diane, who's the actress and stuff, and does that digging to find out that she's mixed race and stuff like that. So I think that's part of it too. It's like, I'll take the bribe too.
Yeah,
right. A lot of jealousy, a lot of envy, a lot of coulda, woulda, shoulda. Somebody else got to do it, I didn't. And when I did a little bit of research on the backstory of some of these gossip columnists, that was part of their story.
Yeah. So you had the opportunity now to like vent some of that inner, I guess, not rage, but frustration that you didn't get.
And disappointment, disappointment. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tough, I mean, even like now, I'm I'm an artist, a singer-songwriter, and I just find, I hate to say it, among the women more than in my experience in this part of show business, if you want to call it that. Women are just brutal with each other, just like even if you're playing in a small club somewhere, they just will not. No one straightens each other's crown. It's very hard for me to ever find someone to work with that you could really like be on the same team.
It can be, right? And that's absolutely a reality of being in the industries that we're in. But I'll tell you, one of the reasons that I got involved in this project is because of Gina and her reputation. I worked with her previously on another film called The Grid Zombie Outlet Mall, and Linda Anderson, the director of that, kind of kept me and Gina connected. And I've seen the work that Gina and Thea have been doing. And so this is an example of a whole group of women that have had each other's back and have come around to bring each other in on another project, like through the years. And me personally, in my career, that's what I look for, people that I can work with multiple times, people that I know, whatever the project is, big or small, if their name is on the call sheet, I know that it's going to be a good production and that I'm going to have a good experience, and that what I'm doing has some sort of meaning or value. And going back to the storyline, my character Gloria Leonard is an older Hollywood actress, and she actually saves Thea and Diana Devane's character, Diana Devane. And Thea, what is your character's name in the
Jody Stewart.
Jody and Diane. So Jody and Diane are our two leads. Jody is the torch singer and Diane is the actress. And my character saves them at first in the diner away from the gossip columnist, because she sees them and wants sees what's going on and does try to protect them. So there are moments of that throughout the series as well, of people protecting each other and protecting each other's secrets. The other thing that really drew this to me was the old Hollywood aspect. As someone who moved down to Hollywood at a fairly young age, I dropped out of grad school and moved to Hollywood. And, there are predators of every shape, size, type, form, etc. You're going to find. But this story is so layered, and there are so many, not just the sexuality aspect of it, not even just the race aspect of it. There's so many secrets and there's so many layers. And one of the other characters I play is one of the nosy neighbors who's like always trying to figure out what's going on in that apartment. So
I have a couple of those.
It's a great story. It really is. There's so much to it. I think you're really going to dig it.
I can't wait to see it. And you're absolutely right. When women do work together, by the way, like you said, and they are a team and have each other's backs, what a beautiful thing it is. And you could get so much great accomplished when that happens. I have one woman, she became my great friend. We've been playing together for 25 years. she's the only person like down here in South Florida, I live in South Florida, that I could find that it was such a pleasure to work with. You know, someone likes the way she does something and I feel good about that. Someone likes the way I do something and she feels good about that. And it's when you find it, it's powerful. It's really powerful. So that's amazing.
How did you first meet Gina?
Yes, I met Gina through Denise. I was just going to say before, you were on a previous podcast about the cartoon project that you did. And Thea, you also had you had this really adorable, like with the big bubble blonde hair and character. And Denise played the landlord, right? The landlady.
Yeah.
So that's when I met Gina. I met Gina when we had you, and you were some other of the women that were in that project were on the show.
Yeah, Linda Anderson was there.
Linda,
Yeah.
yes.
And I think Leah is really right. You know, I don't even remember if Gina told me. I think she did what the character was like, but Gina invited me, and I was like, if Gina's doing it, I'm doing it.
See?
I really
You know what? When it was an adaptation from my friend's original screenplay, and she had pitched it to Thea back in, I think, 2010, maybe. And it's stuck with me. And every year I'm like, hey, do you want to do this? And then when I was like watching the Ellen DeGeneres show, and Toni Braxton was like, I want to play a lesbian, and I want to do, and I'm telling her, I go, switch one of the characters to, African American. Trust me. And no, don't. She didn't want to do it. And so I was just so frustrated, and I kept it. And every time I'd see her, what are you doing with that script? And then finally last year, I'm like, what do you do with that script? She says, you can have it. And I'm like,
wow.
So I got to take it where I needed to go. And then in my mind, when I was writing and rewriting her stuff, Lucy, there was nobody else. It was like, Lucy has to be Blanche. And I felt, hey, I'm sitting there going, oh God, I'm so nervous to ask her and stuff. And I did. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm in. I'm like, oh. So that everybody I asked that I wanted said yes. And starting with her, because she wasn't a yes until she read, the script too and stuff. And I had to work real closely with her, not only because we're married, but because being that she was singing live and stuff, I had to give her space to bring what she needed to bring into it and be okay with it. And be okay to agree to disagree and say, okay, I can't have it this way because she just doesn't want it that way. And not being a diva, but just, and so let's move this way. And I did that with everyone since it's an audio drama and there's no visual. And I recorded with her and I recorded with Lucy and Barbara Deutsch to give them free range on one of the takes. And I used most of that stuff because it was like, I'm going to learn from it too. And I'm going to learn what you're going to bring to me that I might be going, oh, that was missing. And hey, that's great and stuff. So it all worked out. So it was just as directing it, just listening to them and letting them be helped me. Even and like Lucy called and asked for directions. She goes, what do you want to do this way? Da, 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 da. And we talk about it and she'd do it. And I go, hey, I have a late thing. Can you do this one? Yeah, I'll do this. So it all just worked out.
I love that you didn't give up, that you kept going, you didn't forget. And, that's how I am. Like, I'm annoyingly persevering stuff sometimes. Like, no one even wants to hear about it anymore. And I just don't stop until if there's something that you really feel is in your heart that you need to do. But I wanted to ask you, like, working together and you're married, do you find it easy to do? Like, is that a cool thing? Because I always think it's a cool thing. You like
the easiest.
Yeah.
Gina and I, we were always trying to find something to work together on.
Mm-hmm.
And when she brought this idea to me, I really considered it seriously. And I thought, well, this would be probably the best project that Gina and I could work on together, because she's been a part of all the singing years that I've been through since I've started to really, bring that second, ability, to my life. And she's been someone to really encourage me as a singer. And so I thought that it would be a perfect fit for us.
Yeah.
This is so amazing, you guys, because when you were talking about when you said I want her to play a lesbian, I just pictured a young girl sitting around the table when she was really young and hadn't come out yet, and the mom and dad say to her, well, if you were to play, what character would you like to? Oh, mommy and daddy, I want to play a lesbian.
I'm sure it's happened.
Yeah. That's great that you guys like working together, and I think there's something magical about that when you could work in especially in a creative capacity with your partner. I just think that's a really beautiful thing, and you guys
I put the story back in the 30s because then our music, we did public domain songs. So we didn't have to pay licensing fees with the budget and stuff. And which when we sing, I back her up now too. So when we go out singing, it's like, oh, hey, we've done some of these songs. Let's do it. And it works.
That was a smart move, Gina. That was a really good idea.
I tried. The music in this piece is a character, so much so. The intros, the outros of it, everything, or every piece of that music. And I painstakingly, I'd be sitting there for hours. She says, what are you doing? Looking for this song. Still? Yeah, got to keep doing it.
And did Thea have to, like, you approved the songs, right? Like, you had to be like, I really want to sing that one, or I really don't like that song.
Sure. I mean, yeah, we did make, we had mutual discussions about, the songs that I was familiar with some of them more than others. And so, we added quite a few that I had been singing for many years already. And she was good to bring, my input to that process. I really was grateful to her for allowing me to contribute some of the songs that I felt a little bit more comfortable with.
Yeah, they had some great songs back in that time, like really good stuff. And then setting it back in the 30s, like also gave you the different layers, like Lucy mentioned about the communism aspect of people.
The Hays Code was there for the
and
picture industry and stuff. So
all of that. Yeah, I mean, that was something a lot of people don't think about. And also the fact that this relationship back then was really something that was so taboo.
They ended up covering it up and having a lavender marriage with one of the male stars,
Right.
So that's what they did back then. So
I mean, even the famous actors like Rock Hudson and I mean all of those people back then, they did that to the lavender marriages.
You'll learn you'll learn as the series goes on. There's also sort of an underground pool party that happens where folks are allowed to be themselves. Their spouse or significant other looks the other way, and they get to be themselves. And I couldn't imagine this story taking place in a different era. It just like everything about the era just lends itself. The studios is another theme that's running in the background as to how the motion picture studios kind of controlled their actors within the contracts and whatnot, but how there were these open secrets that people were just kind of looking their other way because everything was taboo. If the contract didn't explicitly say that you were allowed to do it back then, they owned their talent, in so many ways. And I just think it's so clever.
It was a really different business and world back then. In that respect, they had stables of actors, right? That you were like signed to a studio and couldn't leave.
You weren't allowed to work with anyone else but that studio, and you had to do what they said. And there were probably a lot more arranged marriages than we realized. Like that part of the story, I was like, wow, I wonder how often, these marriages were just because the studio signed off. They were their big talent, and that's who they wanted them to be seen in public with.
They could make or break people's lives in that respect. So, Tom, who are you in this production? Like,
first of all, I'm playing the studio head, which to me, when I was growing up in Iowa, I listened to the radio dramas a lot when I was young, and I'm so excited about this. But let me tell you about my connection with Gina Glass and Jan Miller-Curran. I was born in Sioux City, Iowa. Jan Miller-Curran was born in Des Moines, Iowa, raising her family. She moved to Sioux City in 1968 when I was heavily involved in theater. I left Sioux City in 1985. She left in 1989 we never met. So I did the interview with the millennial, little 2-minute, 50-second parody about me interviewing a millennial that went viral on YouTube, a measly 17 million, but worldwide on X and Facebook and Twitter and all that, over 500 million views. And I got cast in Jan's play at the Gary Marshall Theater, and I was the unknown actor. And because of that, I got a new agent. And then Jan and I made our strong Sioux City, Iowa connection. And when Gina was so kind to cast me in this role, I get a note from Jan. Tom, I'm producing this. I didn't know you were cast.
Wow, small world, huh?
Oh my gosh. Absolutely. So, Gina gave me a great script, and I go to this one studio in LA where I wasn't going to do it on my own little devices at home. I went to On the Fly, which is a place where a lot of actors go to it. And Josh over there, we did all the recording there. And I think that what word did I mispronounce, Gina?
Oh, gee. I don't remember now. It was some little thing. And you know what? We found it at the very end of your thing. You went back and did it. And it was like, oh, but I called him up. I'm like, can you do this one real quick? Because I'm right in the middle of editing. And he graciously did it on his phone, which was great too. But it was like just the tone of it. And I found it at the end. I was like, oh, there it is.
Well, the part is perfect for that era. The studio head that says, I got to keep everybody under control, particularly someone who might be gay or queer.
Yeah.
And I don't need to be seen in public. And by the way, our star is out there flaunting her sexuality. So there's some great scenes where we butt heads, and she doesn't quite like her co-star, that gentleman's the other. You see John up there sitting up there. Well, this guy's coming on way too strong for me because he's a mover. He's a good guy actor. So I'm really excited to be part of this project, you guys.
Are you?
And then John came in and he had emailed me and he said, oh, I want to audition for Richard Moorhead. And I went and looked at his stuff and I'm like, nope, you're it. Yes, because I had that voice in my mind. I had his voice and there it was. And I was just like, oh my God. But a talent. He's just amazing too. Everyone was. Everybody just, pulled up their bootstraps and came to play and did a fabulous job.
So are you all in LA? Are you all on the West Coast or?
I'm in Los Angeles since '94.
Okay. But you mentioned before, Tom, like you didn't all perform together. You were recording your parts in studios.
Yeah, everybody was separate. Everybody was
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I had to, through editing, create, chemistry and stuff between like her and Chelsea, who's Diane, and John and stuff. The three, everybody had to have, you had to just play it right. And it started coming. I'd sit there in the living room with my little laptop and was doing away. Wake up at 4 a.m. going, oh.
I was just going to say that had to be worked through the night stuff. Like you get into it and then you see the sunrise and you're still working on it. When
first episode, a couple episodes, it was like, I can't do this. And then something just clicked in and it was just like, Yahoo! And the music I was finding the music to put in it and that just helped immensely. And it was just like, oh, here we go. And there was a couple songs we had to go back up to the Laughing Buddha recording studios and Preston, and they were amazing. And I put him in it. I'm like, hey, I need a bartender. Come play. So he did his part.
Wow.
And we recorded stuff and it went in and everything just kind of fell together really, really, really well, which was.
Gina, I've got another question for you, Gina. I think I know Barbara, of course. Did you meet us through the table as well? The table.
I think that's where you came from. But no, everybody I've known Lucy and Leah, and then John had emailed me, so it was kind of like that.
Wow.
But Dalila Ali Raja, who's in it, I've known her forever. Travis Simmons, who's a comedian, he plays Ernie with his deep voice. Linda had known him, and she suggested, "How about him?" And I was like, "Okay." And he's a card. And Barbara Deutsch, of course, the great acting coach, Barbara Deutsch, or life coach.
I love Barbara.
Everybody loves Barbara. So, and I had her in mind from the beginning for Matilda, and I was like, please say yes, and she said yes immediately. So when I got her and Lucy, that was my first two, and
I was so excited to see that. I've only, although I know Barbara's an amazing actress, was on Broadway back in her day, and then commercials all over. I know Barbara as a career coach, you know? Yeah. And so Barbara is a very well-known career coach in Los Angeles. She also has students in Vancouver and all over. So I know Barbara in that capacity for like the last decade or so, but I've never actually gotten to play with her or work with her on a project together. So when I saw Barbara's name come up in the credits, I was like, oh my gosh, and we're actually in a scene together, but like you said, not in the same room. I recorded my stuff over here on the East Coast. And so even though we're in the same room together, we weren't actually in the same room together, but it still counts. I can still say Barbara and I worked on a project together.
And John's in the UK, so he did his way over there. So.
Oh, you're in the UK, John?
I am, yeah, I'm in London. So
I am. It is my lifelong, like, I want to get there. I'm going to get there this year. I've been telling Denise, like, since we started doing this, I'm coming over there. She already moved to a different place, and I'm like, I'm really going to miss that place. I've never been there, but
yeah.
So what is your part in this, John? Are you the other studio head?
No, I'm the token Brit, darling.
I love a
in this case, I'm not playing a villain. I'm very much not a villain in this case. I'm an old queen. Richard Moorhead has been camp as a field full of Boy Scouts and flying on under the radar thoroughly. So he knows all of the ins and outs of Hollywood and how to avoid prying eyes, such as Cevoli Lucy. And becomes the best friend and confidant to Diane Devane to guide her through and try to keep her out of trouble. Because of course she's fresh. She's fresh from Broadway. Doesn't really know how everything works, and is very likely to trip up. So fortunately, Richard takes her under his wing, and guides her through and picks her up when she needs to be picked up. But that comes later. It's been absolutely well. No, sorry, Tom.
I like the way you guys fight, though.
Oh yes, of course. Oh, it's lovely, friendly banter. Yeah, but the fact that Gina has pulled this all together from remote feeds and produced such a high production quality is absolutely amazing. To make everyone sound like they are in the same room is hard enough when we've all recorded in different environments. That's a challenge. But with all the music and just the atmosphere that's created,
even the sound effects, you have to just be historically accurate, and that's what I did research on that. But even like she'd be like, remember the stove doesn't turn on, you had to light the match back then. I'm like,
right.
You gotta find out. It used to be totally
you're my kind of nerd, Gina.
And it's amazing because Gina created an audio drama, but it's just as much a musical, and it's not.
It's just true, actually. Yes.
It's like half of the Great American Songbook. It's unbelievable how much she's singing. So it exists on a plane of being a musical as much as it exists on the audio drama plane and in the jazz clubs and everything. So the accomplishment is pretty tremendous.
Everybody was like, you bit off so much more than you could chew, and I was like, totally, but I have to do it, so it has to be done.
Well, I can't wait for the release of the soundtrack on
I was just saying, if they're going to be a soundtrack, there really should be. I mean, they don't do that. It's really good. Soundtrack would be awesome for that. Even back in the day, like they did do audio productions like this in the 30s, right? There was a lot of like soap opera radio and things like that.
You couldn't produce this as a play unless you were at a big studio. I mean, as a picture. It's like Wicked money, and then nobody has Wicked money here.
So John's in the UK now, right? So you got everyone's. Where are you, Leah, on the East Coast?
I'm in Philadelphia.
Oh, you're in Philadelphia. And
Mhm.
Lucy, where are you? You look like Manhattan to me.
It's the brick. I'm in my garage, which has brick, but I'm actually in LA. I
Oh,
know
really?
brick, but I'm actually in LA. Yeah.
I was getting a Manhattan vibe from you. And
Right.
Gina, you and Taya are in LA, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And Tom, you're in LA also, right?
Yes.
So you guys, so you take this script that you didn't forget about for years. Now you have to coordinate all of these people. They're not all in the same place, even in John's case, the same country. And
Yes.
they record in different studios, which, like John mentioned, you got to get the levels and everything to sound like they're in the same room. What an amazing feat. Now you have to edit this so it sounds like they're all in the same room and talking to each other and
Having chemistry
and the
Yeah.
chemistry. So, I mean, really, a lot of hats you're wearing, but hats off to you because that's a big
and a lot of Advil. So,
and I think that says a lot about you in the industry, though, that you got everyone on board. Everyone is the talents that they are to come together and work. When you asked them and they said yes immediately, people must know your
having
work.
been a personal assistant, we used to work for the Pointer Sisters, and then
Oh.
having been her assistant, and then I got promoted to wife. But having been her assistant, it's I've seen how the even if they're not Julia Roberts status, they're treated like crap, and it's everybody who's a working actor is making hopefully a living wage, maybe not a living wage, but they're expected to have Julia Roberts money, and it's not it just so it's kind of like one of those things. I'm for them, and that's what I love about that work is working with them and stuff. So
that's awesome. I saw Terry Garr in an interview on the Tonight Show years ago, and she was saying how in the showbiz industry, you're either treated way too good or you're treated like crap. Like there's really no in between, because she had been like an extra on an Elvis movie when she was really young, and then when she got into where she was like, one of the main people in the cast and movies, she was just, she saw the difference, and that's got to be tough. And it's really nice that you acknowledge that in bringing everybody together and knowing.
And I do have to give a shout out to our executive producer, Jan Karan, because it couldn't be without her. And she was also a fan of Thea's, and we were talking, and she read the script and she's like, oh, I want to be a part of this. And it was like, wow. And so she had just such sound advice because she's been through it, and she's wonderful too to work with. So it's kind of like dreamlike because everything just fell into place. I don't think there's really hardships, unless I created them myself and went, nah, that's not that hard. Well, I like to problem solve, so it's kind of like, okay, I'll do it.
You manifested it coming together since all the years you were thinking about the script.
Yeah, I could never let that script go. I don't know why. But we just reread it, actually, the original one, the other thing, and it's quite different. The way that hers ended and the way mine ends and stuff like that. And so that's why I said, season 2, I want the 40s music now. And
there you go. Wow, that's
so I can bring everyone back and have more storylines.
One of the things I love about the script is it exists on an entertainment level, but it also has this much deeper level, like John was saying, where John was like, come along with me. Let me show you the ropes. Let me show you how to navigate Hollywood. Let me show you how to navigate the studio system. Let me show you how to keep your truth quiet. So there's this entertainment level it functions on, which is super fun with the music and the singing and the storyline. Mm-hmm. But there's also this really painful, very authentic, darker side. And so it has both going on, which I think is so tremendous.
Yeah, that's I mean, like you said, the many layers that bring this together is, I'm sure, what keeps people wanting to see the next episode.
And at the heart of it, it's a love story.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who doesn't love
forbidden
a love story?
Like that.
Exactly.
Who doesn't love a forbidden love story?
Absolutely.
John, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that's right.
So John, your character, just to circle back to that, you said you're the like kind of like the queen that's the protective queen.
Yes.
Are you
Fairy godmother.
the fairy? I like that. I was trying to think of that word.
Oh, Richard would love to be called a fairy godmother. That's so extra. Oh yes.
But who are you? An agent? Are you another actor in the?
No. He's an actor,
Another
a
actor?
well-established comedy actor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So
you might have mentioned that before. I didn't. I don't remember if you said that. So
Yeah,
you're this
no,
like kind of like a co-worker
John is
to
the
them.
leading man. John is the
Yeah, but-
leading man of the films.
Ah,
Mhm.
I love
Leading-
that.
But yeah, on behind closed doors, there's slept with more of the male members of the studio than, certainly than the female. So, but it goes completely under the radar. Whether that's because they're just blind to it or because he slept with the right people, who knows?
There you go. Who
There you
doesn't
go.
need a fairy godmother queen? Like
Well,
we need
absolutely.
one of those, right? I just can't wait to see this. Where can we? Where is this going to be out and aired and shown?
It's out now. It's 9 episodes. It's all audio. There's YouTube, Podbean, wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Amazon.
Apple Music.
It's all over. So-
Oh, we're going to
Gina, can we start telling everybody about all the episodes then, or are you going to roll something
Please
out for us?
do. No, you can
Yeah.
tell everyone.
Yeah.
You can act them out on the subway. I don't care. You're free to do it.
All I've got is that wonderful first episode, which I've listened to. But when will we all be able to see all the?
They're all out. They're all out now.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I sent links, but my email.
Okay.
But yeah, anywhere you get your podcast, and it's also on YouTube too.
Okay,
All right.
we'll put some links up when I post this. But so you all did your parts. I mean, this is fascinating to me how you did this. Did you have like a watch party together or a listen party together on a Zoom thing or something
Nope.
together, like to hear it all come or together, or did you just all listen on your own? And
No, Gina just Venmoed me $1 million. Oh, wait a minute, I'm supposed to keep my mouth shut.
There was a premiere day leading up to it. If you were following the social media on the Instagram page, Gina had clips leading up to it for a few weeks prior, just little sneak peeks. And even though it's an audio drama, if you look at the social media, there's a little bit of animation, little, there are drawings depicting what our characters look like, even though you don't actually see our characters, when you're listening to the podcast.
I should do. I used AI for the photos for that, and I was just telling Thea, I need to do a blooper reel because there's some of them that you have to be so specific, and so this, and then it's like you have like a lesbian couple laying in bed, and then there's 3 people in bed. There's extra heads, and it's just like this is like hilarious where they have 6 fingers and the cigarettes coming out their elbow.
Yes,
and I'm like, nobody put a cigarette out their elbow, but
oh my gosh,
I need to do a blooper reel for this.
I so get that.
And after.
I love the idea of the blooper reel. I'm working on a book with my 7-year-old nephew who's been diagnosed on the spectrum as having autism, and I'm doing a book with him. He's so intelligent. He reads on a 4th grade level, and he's in the 1st grade. And so I'm using ChatGPT to do the illustrations. And it's just like that, Gina. All of a sudden, like there's a dog, and all of a sudden, like the little boy has a tail, and the dog has a hand, and you have to really look at that stuff before you just put it out there.
Yeah, you could say beautiful blonde with long hair, and it's a short hair brunette. And you'll say you want black or tan. You have to say tan to get like certain skin tones. Then it shows you Asian skin tones. And it's like, no, I don't want Asian here. I want here. And it was just, that was like the worst probably thing. It's trying to get that photo where it's like, okay, this is good. And
I'll sometimes type in and say, can you please remove the tail from the little boy? And then it'll say back to me, I am so sorry. You are so right. You're very, very keen on, it's like your best friend, and I'm like, you forget that, the Patrick has blonde hair, because all of a sudden the little boy is a little girl or a little boy with black hair, Oh, I'm so sorry. It's funny how it writes back to you, but you do have to be on top of that. So, I mean,
You do.
really, so
I think she did a great job. All of that to say, what I was trying to say.
Yeah, you're the guru of it.
I was trying to give Gina some props for the social media that she did leading up to the launch of the podcast. So check that out because it's a lot of fun and there's like little teasers. And then
brilliant.
Yeah, we weren't all together, but we did know the premiere date and the time that the first episode was gonna launch. Yeah,
you were with each other in spirit.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect thing to take now on your holidays when you don't want to talk to your family or you have a long drive or a train.
Yes.
I love that. Thea, did you get like the final look at the final product before it got out to everyone else? Like, were you like, let me see this before it aired?
Gina shared the episodes with me, and I was able to really just feel very comfortable and very, very entertained. And I think that everyone in the cast is just remarkable. I really do. I think the amazing part of all these characters just, brought together through their voices and their interpretations and the music and what Gina has brought to the editing is just, it's been a magical experience. So I was really, very, very happy to be a part of it. And I really hope
I'm very proud of being part of this. It was superb production and superb acting and excellent writing. The whole story is wonderful.
It's
great.
I'm really so excited. There'll be a season 2. And we'll have to have you guys back for that. I can't wait to hear you sing, Thea. I didn't ever heard that.
You're in for a treat. You're so in for a treat.
And a torch singer, that's not easy at all. So
it was hard, and I'm really glad I got to do it.
And also being set in the 30s, we couldn't play. Not that she needs the gimmicks in the studio, but we didn't edit heavily in the studio. We had to try to make it as raw as possible there too. So
they didn't have punch in.
Auto tune or anything.
Yeah, auto tune.
No.
Yeah, and even the music, even though it was all electronic, we're like, let's try to make it not. Let's try to make it not because it's like it just takes you out of it. To me, anyways. And I'm so like a musical ear person that it was even going to find the other songs that are in the background. It was nope, that's not going to do. Or that works. Or no, you can hear the electronic, lo-fi stuff that they're doing. Yeah,
you really have to be like a
historian
to all of that. Yeah, to think about things like that. Even the match, lighting the stove. Details like that. I believe is what take something from being like here and bringing it up we
have one scene where they're Jody and Richard are at a premiere and Leah's doing one of the voices for the movie K, and I wanted it like over dramatic because back then in the 30s it was, and we kind of had to I put it through a filter to make it sound like it was a tinny old movie and had the real playing so you could hear it and stuff. Just to try to get you to stay there because I didn't want to take it out by just going, this doesn't work, so.
Have you found AI to be a good tool to work with now that it's available to all of us mortals?
The only thing I used it for were those promos, so
okay.
I just found it just cracked me up because, you have 3 pairs of legs in the bathtub and 2 people.
That definitely has its place.
It's and I know going back to it, the program that I did use and was going to start doing some more promos and stuff. They changed it, and now it's even more realistic. And I was like, I don't know if I like it that realistic because it's like, that's like my grandpa. Too much.
Yeah, that's an interesting tool. It definitely has its place and doesn't have its place. It's a little scary and amazing all at the same time.
Absolutely.
So what's next? Like, are you guys working on anything else together, or you got your separate projects going on?
Well, I'm excited to announce that Jan has cast me in a Agatha Christie type murder mystery that we're going to film in mid-March in LA, where I play a crime boss.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh, Tom, I love your crime boss voice.
Yeah, he kind of changed
He's
that.
like Abraham Lincoln. He's like the Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, by the way, you guys, I am one of the nation's Lincoln presenters.
Yeah.
I don't talk politics with people, but right now President Lincoln's really pissed off. Anyway, I digress.
You're recording a thing for audio mystery theatre as which is I'm one of three older, more mature gay gentlemen who have ended up sharing a house together in Spain. And the antics they get up to. Murder Among the Olives. It's absolutely brilliant. The three characters are just so opposed in one way, but also together. You know, it's as one of the characters sums it up. It's like one of the characters is the grumpy dad, and I play Mumsy, and and the other one is the tearaway teenager, and the three of us we just getting on each other's nerves, but also actually we love each other really, and it's wonderful. And I've just heard we're going to do a second series of it too. So hooray!
You do have the perfect voice for that, John. I have to say.
Thank you.
I know. I'm like, I always beg him every time I talk to him. I'm like, please, season 2. He's like, I'll do it. And I'm like, because I'm like, you're going to be too big, and I'm not going to be able to have you.
Yeah. Oh, but I use a different voice in the Audio Mystery Theatre thing. Northern British, somewhat higher, and very much more. Oh, I don't know. It's different. You know what I mean? A bit like that.
Different, yeah.
Yes. Not at all the Richard Moorhead, who's much more posh.
It's kind of like the way we have the Brooklyn accent here and the Southern accent or whatever, different.
That's right, yeah.
areas.
There are so many different accents in America. I've given up trying to learn an American accent because I can't decide which one. So many of them.
I grew up on Long Island, and I've tried to lose that, a little bit. I've lived down here in South Florida for so long, but I was for a while trying to, I was making music in Nashville, and I was desperately trying to fit in with the Southern, the Southern bells, but I just didn't quite get the accent. I still couldn't lose my Long Island girl thing. So I wrote a song about it. But
there you go.
Yeah, I wrote a song called Redneck Limousine, which was about me being a girl from New York that wanted to be Southern. And that kind of fixed that problem for me. But
I love that.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to ask you, Lucy, when your friends see that you took this part as the villainous gossip columnist, are they like, gee, that's so unlike you? Or are they like, oh, that was the perfect part for you?
Gosh, I'd love to say they all said, gee, it's so unlike you, but they more said that's a part that's good for you.
That is awesome. And Leah, anything next on the deck for you we could be looking for?
Well, it's funny. I wanted to keep with the murder mystery theme since everybody seems to be involved in some sort of mystery thing right now. I just got cast in a dinner detective theater show that I'll be doing throughout the month here in Philadelphia. Great. So I was like, let me mention that, right? The next round I get to play the killer, so I'm excited about that.
Oh, right.
I love to either die or be killed. I prefer dying, but this time I get to be the killer.
It's not often people say
Maybe I'll have to kill Gloria off in season 2.
Right? Oh, no, because then I won't be able to come back for season 3 unless I could be a ghost. Then that would
there you go. Jody or something.
Right? And then other than that, there's an independent feature film that I just produced here locally called Delco the Movie. Incredible success for an indie project. We raised a ton of money crowdfunding and then a ton more money through local sponsors, and we haven't announced this yet, but by the time this airs, we will have. We just signed a distribution deal, and we are going to be out on DVD in the spring, and we don't know exactly yet which streamer we're going to land on, but we'll have an announcement about what streamer we're going to land on soon, too. So it was really, really exciting. It's called Delco the Movie, and it's a coming-of-age dramedy that a local director writer here wrote when he was back in high school. So it's a little bit of a true story, but it really features like the hometown here in the suburbs of Philadelphia, and it was really incredible to watch the community just really come out and support independent film. Never seen anything like it, so I'm really proud of that one.
Yeah, I know what it takes to do something like that and put something like that together. And that's unbelievable that you guys did that. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. There's been so much support. Never seen anything like it. And we got featured on all the local news channels and the local newspapers, and got to have a huge, like, sold out red carpet and screenings, and just it's been amazing to just watch the love. I spent the last 25 years in Los Angeles, so coming back home and getting to do something in my hometown was really nice.
Leah, do the running up the steps like Rocky on the release.
Do 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 do.
There you go. So
I was
maybe
going to have her sing the Fresh Prince theme, so there you go.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground where I spent most of my. I can do it.
Yeah, the Philly accent is really getting a lot of attention now on
It really is. Mayor of Beastown was set here in this town. They actually shot a lot of it around here. But people, there's this exaggerated Delco accent, like Mayor, and like is a little bit more like South Philly kind of comes out for me, because like I was born and raised Southwest Philly. But what's funny about our indie film is, you're always going to get haters. But we got lots of comments on our trailer saying these people don't even sound like they're from here. They don't even sound like they're from Delco. And we're like, but we all are. So
that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing. One of my best friends is from Philly. And she's like, well, I don't have an accent. I'm like, you do. I can't explain it. It's not as obvious.
That's what my
Brooklyn,
friends
New
always
York
say.
thing.
Yes, my friends have always said it comes out in certain words. Like if I were to see, do you know what I'm drinking here? I'm drinking water.
Water.
I'm drinking water. But in LA, I have to say I'm drinking water.
Right. And she'll say like, I'm going on a trip.
Right.
Like,
Right. Yes.
On.
You use guys. I'll say use guys a lot. There's certain things where it comes out for sure.
It's definitely a thing. Lucy, do you have anything coming up we can be looking for you?
Yeah, I'm doing a movie called Neighborhood Watch, which is about homeless and renters' rights in Los Angeles. And I play a judge. My friend said to me, yeah, you're out of the lawyer category, honey. You're back in judge now. And the direction is I'm supposed to be a little bit like Fran Lebowitz, so quirky, dry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. It's a lot of material. It's a lot of legalese. It's going to be super fun.
Yeah, that's a good part for you. Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you.
We're going to have to look for all of this. Please keep in touch and like send me, the information to the email that you got the Zoom link on. If there's anything you guys want to come back and talk about, Denise will be back probably in December. So, but we'd love to have you guys, back and talk about whatever else you're doing. What about you guys, Gina and Thea? Are you going to be like just taking it easy now?
Holiday break.
Oh, well
deserved.
Right? Yeah,
holiday break till like wake up one morning and go,
right? It just bask.
We're singing. We've been singing at some assisted living places and memory care, and we usually do that for the holidays to get them all in the holiday spirit. So it's a lot of fun.
That's
awesome. So great that you do that.
Yeah,
that is people who really appreciate it and really, really, really need it. That is
wonderful. They do.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love doing it.
There's nothing like that feel. I do some of that myself down here because what you get back from that is so awesome. And especially if you're singing the stuff from the 30s, Thea. I mean, that's got to be, if that's what you do. I mean, that's people, I've seen that like where, you kind of walk in, you set up your stuff and everyone's kind of like quiet and maybe in their own selves. And once you start playing the stuff that they know, You know, I mean,
yeah,
when
if
I
you
do
break
that,
out Kate Sarah Sarah, that's the end of it. I mean,
oh yeah, like I'll sing to
That was
track.
my favorite song when I was a little girl because
See?
Doris Day sang it. That was
See?
my favorite song.
The Doris
Yeah.
Day Show.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of Doris Day. We Carpenters. You can see we do a Beach Boy song, and when she starts singing "Don't Worry, Baby," they all know it, and it's like,
wow.
or she'll whip out "Going Out of My Head." They all know it. And it's like,
Yeah.
and even the memory care, which is I know from a fact with my nanny when she started getting dementia.
Yep.
She couldn't tell who people were, but she knew every song, every lyric
so
to every
true.
Frank Sinatra song.
Yeah.
And she'd sing it and stuff.
Something
Yeah, and you can
magical.
tap into that joy.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's something very magical about music.
Yeah, they'll come up and go, "You were singing songs when I was a teenager today," and stuff. And we're like, "Oh, good." So, you know.
Pennies from Heaven is a big number when I do these things. They love that song.
Yeah.
I love that song. My nanny always used to sing that song to us.
Mine
I love that one.
too. But I love that you guys do that. That's a beautiful thing, really. That's brings a lot of joy. It's special. So
It is.
Well, I got to thank each and every one of you for being here today. This was so awesome. And I got to say, I was so excited about this because I wanted to hear about this project and meet all of you. And my sister texted me something just before we started. Don't forget to press record because I forgot to do that on my very first podcast I did on my own without Denise because she always handles all that stuff, you know. So, but I've been doing these on my own now since she's been moving. And one time, the first time I did it, I forgot to press record, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
It was probably like the best interview of life, right?
It was. It was. I couldn't get the people back then because they were traveling, and now I still have to try to get them. Yeah, it was like one of those things that I'm like, oh my gosh, if I forget to press record today, I'm just gonna have to go kill myself.
Not on our watch.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm kidding, but you know, it was that serious for me. It was that serious because I would have hated to do that. But what a great time spent today. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being here. It's really awesome. And
thanks for interviewing us. Thank you very much.
Thanks for inviting us on. It's been lovely.
Thank you guys for coming on too.
John, so fun to meet you guys.
Thank you.
Yes, I know. It's the first time I've seen everyone.
All of you guys, yeah.
We'll have to have it like a once a month or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be great. I'll watch all the episodes of season 1, and then we can come back and talk about it. So
Okay.
Great, yeah.
Good deal.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Do Thanksgiving in England, Tom?
Well,
John?
no, it's not really.
Don't do it.
For good reasons.
Oh, yeah.
We save it all for Christmas. Sorry?
There you go.
We were saying.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. This has been amazing.
Bye-bye. It was great
Thank
meeting
you.
you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Too loud, but we scream and we'll never bow. Tears and scars forge this steel. No more doubts, this power's real. We are unbroken, we're the storm. All their rules, we've torn apart the norm. No apologies, hearts ablaze, we're the sun, we're the endless days. Rise up, fighters, we won't back down. Voices loud, tearing through the ground. inside.